this is working. We'll see real quick. Wondering if anyone's in there. I mean, it looks like it's working. I'm just gonna go with it. What's up, everybody? This is Goate Nation, or not Goate Nation. This is Goate. Welcome to the Goate Nation. This is like my first stream I've probably ever done on YouTube. I don't even remember the last time I've live streamed, but actually, I'm not even in my. There we go. That's more like it. That's my YouTube one. All right. So I guess today, I got some stuff going on later. I figured I'd give my first impression of the Big Ten, and let's see what the schedule, what might shake up to. We got the divisions, yep. I found this site, playoffpredictors.com. Kind of wanted to go individually through each team, but, I mean, this should work. We'll see. Just give me 1 sec. I want to get something real quick. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, cool. So, definitely live streaming under CZ Sports. Want to shout them out. Going to be a brand ambassador for them for the upcoming future. And, yeah, the reason why I'm picking Big Ten is because obviously I'm a Michigan fan. The reason why you see the Gators in the background is because I actually went there, my alma mater. So, yeah, I'm torn between this SEC and the Big Ten, of course, but Big Ten's always my favorite. And I know the most about the Big Ten, so I don't have to do too much research. I have their depth charts pulled up just in case. There's only a handful of teams I really haven't been keeping up with, like Northwestern, Rutgers, Indiana a little bit. I know a good amount about all the other teams. Might have to look into those teams a little more, though. I don't know any of the transfers that might have been there. But, I mean, this is going to be my best bet right now. Actually, I might pull up the over-under as well. They're going to make me sign in, aren't they? Great. Okay, give me a sec. Oh, you're serious? Alright, it ain't that big of a deal. I can always look it up on my phone. I'm not going to worry about that till the end anyway. So, I mean, for the most part, the Big Ten's going to be really interesting this year. I'll just give you my first impression before we even do this. Really think Michigan's probably going to be undefeated throughout the season, and if not, it's either going to be Penn State or Ohio State. Obviously, we all know football can get crazy in conference play, so I mean, what is it? Drew Allaire is the Penn State quarterback. Ohio State's got Kyle McCord. It's going to be it's going to be between these three. If anything, Penn State's only losses will probably be Ohio State and Michigan. And I know this side, it's actually getting interesting for the first time in a minute. Actually, who is Illinois' quarterback this upcoming season? I don't think Illinois is going to be all that. Luke Altmaier. came from Ole Miss. I've heard the name before. I just don't. Okay, maybe I haven't heard the name before. Maybe I think I'm a different Luke. I have no idea. Okay. How many stars was he? Oh, so he's a very big prospect coming out of high school. All right. We'll come back to that in a second, but I mean, let's start the Big Ten. Let's get into it. I mean, I need to figure out what the heck we're doing for this, or who is gonna be what. Get back to that. All right, so I mean, first off, this is already going to be a big game. It's a Thursday game. Are you kidding me? Wow, interesting. Okay, so I know Nebraska just got. I don't want to say screw it up. Jeff Sims. So he's from Georgia Tech. They have some pretty good receivers. I know they got Billy Kemp. Minnesota. I have a bad feeling they're going to be a little under this year. Corey Cromes. I know he came. Did he come from Western Michigan? I think he came from Western Michigan. Yeah, okay, so he was not bad actually. He'll probably be a good addition to that team. I mean, right away, I don't want to be this guy that's already starting with the aways, but I could definitely see Nebraska pulling this one off. I just don't think Minnesota's all that this year. Athenkalkminas. I've just never heard of these guys. And if they've never played fully, I doubt they're going to pull it off. So we're going to start with them. I know Fresno State's like decent this year. Actually, let me look. Mikey Keene, okay. I feel like I've heard that name before. Okay. I like Purdue. I'm pretty biased this year with Purdue. I just want to make sure I'm correct with who I think the court. Yeah, okay. Hudson Card, he's from Texas. So Hudson Card, he's basically getting a brand new start. Obviously, Texas is full of people now, so he had to transfer. He went to Purdue. I think this is a Purdue win right there. Northwestern, Rutgers. Oh my God. Okay, so the two teams in the Big Ten that I literally don't know anything about. Ben Bryant, he's gonna be the starter this year. I agree. I think he is, but where did he come from? Cincinnati. Okay, and he's got some age on him. Has he ever really played? Okay, so he was Cincinnati's guy. The past 2 years, we just had a guy come from Cincinnati, a Riddler, right? So maybe Northwestern did just get a solid guy. Okay, so that's good. And I know AJ Henning just because I'm a Michigan fan, obviously. And then it's Rutgers they're playing against. I mean, I hate to be that guy against Rutgers, but Rutgers has just never been a solid team. And these guys, I don't know any of their names. I just know that's not a good sign for them. Gavin Whipsmith. I don't even know if I'm spelling that right. That was pretty close, actually. Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna have to assume he was the backup last year, and he's the starter now. Is he in a running game? Okay, so I'm gonna have to assume he's a hybrid. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna definitely not go with. We're definitely gonna be going with Northwestern on the road on this one. Townsend should not win that. There's just no way. Now Wisconsin, this might be a team to be on the looks for this year, if I'm correct. Tanner Mordecai, I'm a big fan of Tanner. They just got 2 solid transfers. I just want to look C.J. Williams up. Yeah, so he was from USC. Yeah, okay, so they have some talent coming into Wisconsin, and I mean, if I remember him correctly, he was pretty good for their guys last year. So, and they have some freshmen behind him. Yes, Wisconsin's they're kind of stacking up a little bit. I just know I love Tanner Mordecai. I know he's been in college football for way too damn long, but I'm definitely giving Wisconsin the W on that one. Ohio State should obviously beat Indiana. I'm sorry. Indiana, I'm not even going to look at it. Michigan State. It's funny enough, I actually kind of have to look at Central Michigan because I'm sorry to say to all you Michigan State fans out there, they are not that good this year. Is the MAC not even on here? I just keep passing them because I'm blind, I guess, today. So, Jace Bauer, I'm pretty sure he started last year, if I'm not mistaken. I swear I'm not just looking at quarterbacks and basing it off the quarterbacks. They're a big factor, I'm not going to lie. But I need to kind of know who's leading the offense. Yeah, I mean, their receiving core is a little too young. I'd give it to Michigan State. West Virginia, oh boy. I mean, I probably shouldn't even have to look at this one. I just am kind of curious on who Western Virginia is rocking with on this season. What are they? I don't even know. They're not Pac-12, are they? Oh no, they're definitely Big 12. Yeah, there we go. Garrett Green. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Did he even start for them last year? No, he definitely didn't start for them last year. Yeah, so Western Virginia's on a rebuild. It's definitely Penn State. So pretty much all the Big Ten teams I have winning the first game. I mean, we don't even have to really dig into those ones. I know Illinois is a decent team. There's no way they're just gonna fall apart insanely. Like, I'm gonna have to assume Luke's coming from a good school. He's pretty high ranked coming out. I know Cade McNarma's at Iowa, and I'm not the biggest Cade fan, but yeah. So at least to start, this is how I kind of see the first two kind of locking in. I don't even know how to go to the next week here. Is there a way to even go to the next week? Okay. Oh, alright. Week 2. Jesus Christ. Okay, so did every team play in the first week? Okay, so we got Nebraska versus Colorado. Nebraska will win that. Again, I don't know why everyone's all over Colorado, but they're just not. It's their first year. I don't expect them to be absolutely amazing or anything. I'm trying to find their depth chart because I just want to look at it again. The Pac-12, why am I not seeing them? There we go. I know Sanders is there. Just look at how many transfers they got. It's absolutely insane. Like, literally their whole team is transfers. There's absolutely no way they're just going to go crazy the first year. There's just no way. There's just no way. Travis Hunter. Where's their good... Travis Hunter playing both ways? Are you kidding me? Maybe they don't know what he's going to play yet. I'd assume corner. But yeah, we're going to go Nebraska. I mean, we can look at it again. They have a pretty solid team. I'm giving Jeff Sims probably way too much credit, but I like Jeff Sims. I think he's going to be pretty solid this year. He did pretty good. Temple, I mean, this is probably going to be a petty one I give for Rutgers because I have zero idea. I don't even know what conference Temple's in anymore. AAC, okay, so Yeah, like they don't even know who the hell is playing on their team yet. So, Rutgers. Washington State's pretty decent team usually. I gotta take a look at Washington State. When I tell you this is a blind prediction, this is very blind. I have not done any. Oh, Cameron Ward. Okay, Cameron Ward came from Incarnate Ward, didn't he not? He came from a D1 AA school, and he did really good. I just don't remember what school he specifically came from. This will tell us right here. Yeah, Incarnate Word. Yeah, see, like, this dude, he popped off there. And he had a good season with Washington State. So Washington State might be this could be a tough one for them. But Wisconsin's such a nice school right now. That's I'm telling people, the Pac-12 is kind of saucy for once. I kind of like it. It's a good conference. Like, this conference is getting nuts right now, and I'm kind of sad UCLA and USC are leaving it because they were kind of helping them lead the way a little bit. But who are we on? We're on Wisconsin. I keep talking. I already know this. Like, I'm gonna give it to the home team. I think Washington State pulls that one off. Iowa versus Iowa State. I mean, come on. Iowa State's not that good, right? It's probably one of the worst teams in their conference right now. Hundred Deckers. No idea. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I mean, I could be so wrong, but we'll give Iowa that. Indiana State, not even close. I'm a big Kansas fan right now. I don't know how good their new guys coming in are here. How do I keep going to that? Hold up. I'm gonna give it to Kansas. I think Kansas is just nice right now. I'm a big fan of Jalen Daniels. Oh, they still have Jason Beam. Okay. Devin Neal, I liked him. Yeah, we're gonna keep up with Kansas. I really want to go Richmond here just to piss everyone off, but I mean, Michigan State will win that game. There's absolutely no contest. I'm gonna kind of just click the no contest ones. I mean, low key, actually, hold on. Eastern Michigan's not bad right now. That could be a fun one. Oh boy, what the hell happened here? So, either Orleans has no idea what's going on. Orleans is the site I use for the depth charts. They're pretty spot on. Maybe last year they just... I'm sorry, I'm just taking a look at who their starter for this year is. Yeah, he wasn't the starter last year, I know that. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna give Minnesota the win there. Northwestern. There we go. So yeah, so that's how I kind of see it going for week 2. I mean, it's not too bad yet. We're kind of in the easy spot still. Duke, I know Duke's pretty good actually for once. In my opinion, the reason why they got good is because NIL, but that's a whole new topic for a different day. Did their quarterback leave? Did half their team leave? Huh. World's largest rubber ducky. What the? Okay. I think that's basketball. Yeah, they were 9-4 last year. They were pretty decent. I'm trying to find Here we'll go to box score. That's what I want to see the most. It was Riley. Okay. Okay, so he was the guy there last year. My bad, dude. Just didn't know your name that well. I might give it to Duke here. I just know Northwestern's not the most complete team. They lost their best end last year. I know Ben Bryant's pretty good, but I know Bryce Kurtz and Jacob Gill, they're pretty decent actually. A.J. Henning, I don't think he's ever been in that starting position, but I know Brandon Sullivan. I'm pretty sure he came. Ryan Helinski. Why did these guys all transfer there? I know Brandon Sullivan was not there originally. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm confusing him with Ryan Helinski. I'm gonna give Duke the win here. I'm not the biggest on Northwestern, even though I'm a fan of Ben Bryant. Northwestern's probably like a mid team in the Big Ten this year. I could see them being pretty mid. I mean, Louisville, there's no way they were that. I don't know too much about Louisville. I just kind of want to see what they did last year because okay, they're actually pretty content. They actually beat a pretty decent Florida State team. Oh, they beat Wake Forest. Holy crap! Who the hell was on their team last year? Oh, they have Malik Cunningham. What am I thinking? They had Malik Cunningham. I don't think he's there anymore. And now they have Jack Plummer. I've heard of Jack Plummer. Where did he play last year? California, yeah. So, I mean, Louisville's about to be pretty. They're gonna be good again this year. They have transfers. They're looking to beat up. I'm gonna pick Louisville. I'm sorry, Indiana. You guys are just gonna have a tough season this year. Taven Jackson. I haven't even really been looking at you guys. I could be so wrong. You guys could actually be like kind of built right now. Taven came from Tennessee. He's got some NFL background because of his parents, I'm guessing. Okay. Assuming he transferred because he won the spot in Indiana. He's also really young. Maybe in a year or two he's going to be like the guy there. Yeah, they have a freshman. I mean, their receiving core is pretty experienced. I'm not sold on them. Sorry. Syracuse is a good team. I think Purdue's like gonna be dogs this year. I'm sorry. I really like Hudson Card. McCovey's good. I know. I think it's Sheffield. I think that's who I'm thinking of. He was pretty good. Let me give Purdue that one. Penn State, they're gonna take that. Washington. Yeah, Washington takes that one. I don't even really have to look at that one. Ohio State. Virginia Tech. They were pretty good last year, right? I just seen that, and I don't think they're that good last year. I think I was wrong. Maybe I was thinking of Virginia. Yeah, so I don't even really have to look. I'm pretty confident Virginia Tech wasn't that good. Yeah, I'm not too confident in any of those guys. We'll go Rutgers in that one. Michigan. Actually, now we can look at Virginia and see if I was right. Oh, they were both bad. My mistake. Holy crap. So, I don't remember every team, alright? Give me a break. Jay Wolfert. Yeah, I mean Maryland will win that one. That's gonna be a tough. That's a tough game for Minnesota. I'm giving that to North Carolina, Nebraska, Wisconsin. Iowa should win that. I mean, not looking too bad so far. The East, poor Indiana. They're just kind of. Yeah, Indiana's just in a tough spot. We'll hit week 4. Okay, you got a little less games. I'm assuming a lot of teams are taking their week off. Wow, that's a start right there. Holy crap. Okay, so I know Notre Dame just got a dog. Sam Hartman, yep. God, that's just such a nice offense actually for them. I would love Ohio State to lose this game. I would absolutely love it. I just know these receivers are just absolutely good. Cade's, yeah, I gotta give it to Ohio State. Penn State, Iowa, I'm sorry you guys don't really have a chance. Michigan, Rutgers is probably gonna get pooped on. Come on, there we go. Nebraska against Louisiana Tech. Nebraska's kind of good right now. Akron versus Indiana. It's kind of sad I have to look Akron up because who knows? DJ Irons. I mean, I don't think you've been pretty relevant. Yeah, you've kind of just been mid. Maryland should win on the. Yeah, Maryland should win that. Minnesota versus Northwestern. I mean, maybe I'm just hating on Minnesota a lot right now, but I have a feeling Northwestern's gonna be like better than they've been. I'm gonna go Northwestern. Purdue versus Wisconsin. Ooh boy. That Purdue team's just right now is so nice. Wisconsin. I like Wisconsin too, man. This might be like the brawl right here. Low key. Low key. Oh my god. I don't like just giving the home team the win when I'm. It's going to be a good game, man. I think Purdue knocks that one out. I'm sorry to say. I actually like Wisconsin more, but. God, I feel like Hudson Card's going to have that him in this game. So Minnesota's going to be down 1-3. I feel like I'm giving Northwestern so much yes right now. You gotta just keep going, I guess. Maybe Minnesota just has a tough start, but Penn State's gonna get Northwestern. What Maryland should get Indiana. I'm gonna give Minnesota this one. Michigan's gonna win on the road. Purdue should win at home. If Rutgers loses that game, I don't know what. And I'm sorry for Michigan State fans, but I'm not feeling that game. Iowa should win that. I mean, Michigan State. I mean, let's just take a look real quick. Yeah. I know you guys are you guys are up on Sam Levitt. I know he should be like coming in eventually for you guys. Noah Kim, he's just been there for a minute and he's just never started, so I'm assuming he's just next up. I looked him up a little bit before. I'm just not sold. I feel bad for Michigan State because I like Michigan State being good, just because I'm from Michigan. So, but Northwestern, if they let Howard win, that's criminal. Wisconsin shouldn't have a factor with Rutgers. Wisconsin should take that. What are we at right now? Wisconsin 3-2. Wow. Okay. They're a good team too. Purdue and Iowa. I mean, I haven't even really looked at Iowa's depth chart. It's kind of just. I know their receiving core is always like decent. I know Cade McNarma's not the best. Deacon Hill. Sorry, I'm just looking up who Deacon Hill is. Okay, that's what I thought. He was a backup at Wisconsin. Yeah, just Iowa's shouldn't be amazing. I mean, their tight ends are always good. They're always like a good, slow defensive team. That's the thing for me. Like, their defense is pretty nice. The fun thing about the west side of the conference is that they always are like very competitive with each other because they're all like so top mid. Let me look up Corey Grant damage. So he was kind of a stud over at Marshall. Those are good numbers. Huh. I'm gonna give Purdue this. Sorry, Iowa. Ohio State, you should win that. I don't want to just give Nebraska a petty win, but oh man. I just feel like Illinois is not gonna be them this year. I just don't see it. I'm gonna give it to Nebraska and Michigan. Sorry, Illinois, I just don't see it. Nebraska could definitely be them this year. So that's where we're at right now. I mean, week 6 is a good time to just kind of look. I mean, Purdue and Nebraska at the top. That's kind of what I was thinking already. Northwestern, I'm sure their wins will go down a little bit. I kind of like the setup at Northwestern. I just like their defense is a little better than they've been. They've lost some key pieces. Wisconsin's a good team. It's interesting that I have them at 3-2 right now. Iowa's just always a good, strong defensive team. And then the East, obviously, this is kind of predicted. Maryland's a good team. I think they've had some easier matchups in the start, so that's why they have only lost once. But, I mean, let's just keep going. We got Penn State will win that game. This is kind of interesting. I mean, this could be an interesting game, but Ohio State's just such a good team. I can't just give them a loss. I just know that Ohio State will pull this one off. Purdue will probably be their first loss. I mean, I don't want to be that guy that gives Rutgers a win against Michigan State, but I think Michigan State, you guys will pull that one off. I'll give it to you guys. Michigan, I don't even know why I was thinking on it, honestly. Maryland, I'm giving Maryland a lot of love this year. I'm not going to lie. They surprised me last year. A lot, actually. If I'm not mistaken, actually, I don't even want to say it. I want to just type it out. Yeah, so they actually gave us a run for our money last year. I know their team's kind of just good. Like, they just have good chemistry. Tuala, he could be him this year. It's all up to him. And then Wisconsin versus Iowa. My God, man. It's going to be a fun game. I'm going to give it to Wisconsin at home. I just like Wisconsin more than Iowa this year. I'm not a Cade McNarma guy, and then Deacon Hill's never played, so if they result to him, it's all going to be on their defense, and I see Wisconsin. I think Tanner Mordecai will pull that one out. So I mean that's week 7. Let's go on to week 8. It's about to start getting hard actually, very soon here. Yeah, so now it's conference games. Okay, great. So Nebraska versus Northwestern. That's gonna be big. That's gonna be a really big game for Nebraska. They're gonna be in the spot where they kind of need to win this game. They Northwestern's kind of got some heat right now. Nebraska, again, I'm on that Jeff Sims train. I want to see where Billy Kemp came from. Don't even know who you are, bro. Oh wow, okay, so he's not who I thought. Oh, maybe he got injured. He must have got hurt because there's no way he dropped that drastically from one season to the other. I just don't believe it. So we're gonna label him pretty decent, pretty good. I want to say I've seen this Coleman guy. Maybe Nebraska, man. It might be them this year. I'm gonna give Nebraska that win. Rutgers versus Indiana, the bottom 2. Don't mean to be mean about it, but that's the bottom 2 for sure. Just really don't like Rutgers' team right now. Really don't like it. I'm gonna give a fat prediction. Say that freshman has his game that game. I'm sorry to tell you, but this might be the first time in a few years where this game isn't even close. Michigan might poop on Michigan State pretty bad. Oh my God, man. That's a tough one. So this is going to be like that game, all right? It's going to be like the game where, like, Penn State, these guys are good, man. If you've never heard of Drew Alar, I mean, we don't even need to talk about him. I mean, Theo Johnson's him. Nicholas Singleton, he was on my radar last year. He is a monster. Look at these numbers. And this is just a little guy, man. He is a freshman. He's going to be him. Drew Alar, too. I mean, just want to show you guys who this is. So Drew Alar, he didn't really play too much last year because he, obviously we all know who the starter was last year. But Ohio State's a very competitive team, man. It's that defense for me too. It's just that's a strong line right there. They always they have to have probably the best receiving core in the league. And it doesn't really matter who they start. It's gonna be one of these two, and they're gonna be good. And Devin Brown's a good quarterback. Kyle McCord's a good quarterback. Mayan Williams is solid running back. You kind of just have. I kind of am just gonna lean Ohio State. It'd be kind of crazy if I picked Penn State. It's gonna be like that scenario where Penn State just can't ever beat the top 2 teams. So we're just gonna go with that. Wisconsin, you should beat up Illinois. I'm already forgetting who's playing with Minnesota. Yeah, because it's nobody. It's sad that I'm saying it's a nobody, but I don't think he's played yet. Actually, let's just take a look because I don't want to be wrong. I just screwed that up. Okay, so I mean he's played some. He started a game and beat Wisconsin. And he beat Syracuse. Jesus. Maybe Minnesota will be a little better than I'm thinking. I mean, I just don't see them beating Iowa, though. I mean, it's not a terrible prediction right now. Usually this is how it is anyway in the Big Ten. I feel like it's just strong. The teams are just strong. Purdue versus Nebraska now. It's the top two in that side. I mean, I'm sorry, Nebraska. I've been giving you guys a lot of love, but I'm probably gonna give Purdue this one. I might give Northwestern this one. I feel like Maryland's just gonna lose this one based on controlling their pace against this Northwestern team. Nah. I just talked myself out of that one. I like Maryland. I'm a strong Maryland believer right now. Penn State, Indiana. I just don't want to be hating on Minnesota because that's just the one team other than Northwestern and Rutgers, I just don't really know who they are. I also just don't want to give sympathy votes to Michigan State. I think Minnesota wins this one, low key. I just don't think I'm sorry, Michigan State. You guys are just not that solid. I'm just gonna keep going with that one. And Ohio State should win that. I'm sorry, Wisconsin. I've been pumping you guys up, but you guys aren't cut out for it. All right, Wisconsin, you should definitely beat Indiana though. Northwestern versus Iowa. I'm gonna go with the Iowa. The Iowa on that one. Ohio State. Michigan State versus Nebraska. I keep looking at Nebraska because I don't know too much of them. Thinking, man. A lot of thinking right now. I'm going Nebraska. Oh my God, Michigan has to play Purdue. Whew. That's going to be a great game. It's going to be Michigan, though. I could see some, that could be a freaking over for sure, though. I wonder what they would put that at. I mean, this is where Maryland's journey starts popping down, I think. Maryland will lose that to Penn State and might give Illinois this one. Minnesota's just... I'm not too big on Minnesota this year. I'm just not. We're going to look at the over-unders, and I might be so wrong, but I think this will be Illinois' first win in conference I play. I mean, and Minnesota's the home team too. I mean, I just picked so many away teams, but the home teams they're just not the favorites. We'll go with that. We'll rock this out. Ohio State, you're gonna poop on them. That's gonna be a fun one. Maryland versus Nebraska. I mean, let me get Nebraska here, man. I think this is their Cornhuskers, right? This is their time, man. Michigan, this is gonna be a very good game. I don't know why that was switched. This is gonna be a very good game. Michigan versus Penn State. It's gonna be a fun one, but Michigan should pull that one out, right? Like it should be a close game. Purdue, you should beat Minnesota. Indiana. Good. Illinois that one. That's a good one for Illinois to win. Wisconsin, you should beat Northwestern, and Iowa should beat Rutgers. I've given Rutgers no love for conference play. I wonder how frequent that is. All right, so now we're in week 12. Penn State. This is going to be a big game for Wisconsin. They're going to need this win. It's against Nebraska, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to go with Wisconsin. Michigan State, you should win that. Purdue should win. I just feel bad for Northwestern. They're labeled, in my opinion, as just not the best team in this, but they have some talent. So my opinion might be different if their under/over is like 5, but we'll see. Ohio State, Michigan, and Iowa. Iowa's just got a good defense. Week 13, this is it. Yep. So, if we just take a look, the West is starting to they're getting mad at each other. There's 4 of them that are kind of butting heads, and then there's 3 teams. I mean, we're predicting this, obviously. This is just, off the top of my head, my first impressions. I mean, some of these games probably won't go the way they are going, but I would assume these are the 4 teams that are kind of going to be going head-to-head, and then obviously in the East, I think it's going to come down to whoever just wins this last game. I do believe Michigan and Ohio State will be undefeated up until this point. I also do believe Purdue should be around the top, but Wisconsin and Nebraska should be fighting there. Iowa, I could see Iowa losing more. I could see Northwestern winning a game or 2 that I didn't pick, but again, we'll get to that in a sec. Nebraska versus Iowa. I'm gonna give it to Nebraska. I don't think Iowa's gonna be them factor this year. Penn State's gonna be. They're gonna be 10-2, yeah, of course. They'll probably be ranked in top 10. That's how good they'll probably be this year. Maryland should win. Rutgers. If there's a bet for Rutgers not to win a conference game, I would definitely hit that. Northwestern should beat Illinois. Wisconsin, you should beat Minnesota. Purdue should spank Indiana. And then, obviously, we got Ohio State versus Michigan. I mean, yeah, I'm going to be a little biased here. So, the reason I'm biased, obviously, is because I'm a fan of Michigan, but I also do agree that usually when you start with a new quarterback, it's a little tough through the season to build that chemistry and everything. Kyle McCord's been the backup there. I mean, you would think he's going to be the guy there, and he probably will be, don't get me wrong, but I just think this first year it's going to be next year I could see Ohio State winning, actually, against Michigan. They'll get their footing back, but I think this year Michigan wins this game. And I think that's it, yeah. So this is Purchase a playoff prediction. I don't want purchase. This is probably where this season, yeah. So we got Purdue and Wisconsin and Nebraska at the top of the West. I definitely see that 100%. You got Iowa and Northwestern's up there a little bit, not really, but you know what I mean. Sorry, and then the East, those are the 3 teams. It's going to be lopsided this year in the East. Just those 4 teams are going to be the dogs, and those other 3 are going to be it's going to be a tough mix for them. I could see Maryland getting swept into conference play by the other 3. Iowa, yeah, same thing with Iowa. Iowa's kind of that Maryland spot. Nebraska, Wisconsin. Yeah. So I mean, this is kind of my prediction. I feel like it's kind of good. It's probably not the best, but I do want to see if there's. Let's see if what the odds are in the over-unders this year. Wow. I mean, if Purdue is supposed to be that bad, I definitely fucked up my predictor. But I mean, let me just make sure I'm not like actually like crazy. I mean, that's I don't know, man. Again, this is just my first thought on all this, but actually let's move this over here. So for Illinois, all right. So let's not get my predictor and my over unders confused here. I'm not automatically just going to assume that a team's over because of what I'm predicting. Some of the games were definitely back and forth for me. And I just picked who should arguably win that game. I mean, there's so many games that could happen that don't happen. You know what I mean? So, for instance, obviously, my biggest. Some of these are pretty on point with what I'm thinking, but except Purdue, obviously, Purdue's the big one that I didn't have confidence. Like, well, I didn't have not that I'm saying I didn't have confidence in, but Purdue is definitely the one that I might be the most wrong about. So we'll see. If I'm a betting man, I'm probably taking the over on Purdue though. I mean, I have them at 10-2. I like Hudson Card. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm probably locking in Purdue at the over. There obviously the conference play for Purdue could be different, but we'll see. Wisconsin, I probably pick the over. I could see them being 10-2 because I'm pretty sure I have them losing to Purdue. If they beat that team, if they beat Purdue, they will be up. They'll be up in there. Nebraska, 6. I picked the over from Nebraska. I think Nebraska could be pretty solid this year. A lot of people have them on the low, but interesting enough, Nebraska should be. There was a few games that we were back and forth on, but Nebraska should be 9. They should be at least 7. At least 7. 9's probably their max. I probably have them maxed out. Iowa, that's a tough one. 7.5. I'm kind of on the. I probably would stay away from the Iowa one. Northwestern, I give them the over. On Northwestern, I give them the over. 100%. I think their max wins is 5 this season. I think they get 4 though. Illinois. Illinois. I'd probably go the under on Illinois. This is probably not their season. And then Minnesota. See, I knew they would think Minnesota was a little better. I probably won't touch Minnesota either. I don't know too much about Minnesota. I probably same thing with Purdue. I don't know that much. I know the quarterback at Purdue is a strong candidate. But let's flip this around. Obviously, I'm probably taking the over on Michigan. If anything, they only lose one of those games between Penn State and Ohio State. They probably only lose one of them. So I would give Michigan this W. I would give them the go for the over on this one. Same with Ohio State. I think they only lose one. Like the over unders for Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State. It in my opinion it depends if they can beat each other up. Penn State should be a lock. I don't think Penn State loses any other games other than those two. Maryland at 7. Yeah, I mean we have them at 8-4. They're a strong contender. If anything, they get 7. So I would probably take the over, and you might get your money back. Michigan State. I'm probably not touching that one. 5.5 is way too low for a team that has been good in the past. I don't see them being as good this year. If anything, they get 5 wins, and we're just screwed if we take the over. So, if anything, I take the under on Michigan State, but if anything, I don't touch it. Indiana, that's probably one I'm not touching either, 3.5. I don't know about that one, man. Rutgers, you could be risky and go the under for Rutgers for sure. I just don't ever think Rutgers has it. I mean, for crying out loud, I have them losing every game in the conference, so they couldn't win one, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure I have Indiana winning the game against Rutgers. I could see that flipping, but other than that, Rutgers it's not happening. But yeah, that's my predictions. I mean, we flew through that in an hour. That was kind of fun, actually. It kind of opened my mind on what I'm thinking off first glance. Obviously, the biggest what the hell is my Purdue prediction. I guess I'm stupid. I don't know. I think looking at Purdue's depth chart, I like this team, man. Maybe I'm on the Purdue wagon because of last year, but I don't know, bro. Hudson Card, dude. He can be him at Purdue 100%. They have transfers, man. Like, I'm pretty sure I've heard of Malik Langham. How do you spell Langham? He's a Vanderbilt defensive end. I mean, that's not that good. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Ooh, boy. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we're going to have to see with this one. I mean, this is probably my biggest L. I'll take the L if it is an L, but I mean, let's just say Purdue is the outlier. I mean, it's probably Wisconsin that's going to be leading this division. Yeah. Everything else, honestly, I think looks pretty good. I mean, can I look at Purdue individually? Maybe I just clicked it like too many times. Yeah, okay, so I mean, let's say like the teams that I know are good beat Wisconsin or Purdue. I know Syracuse is a good team this year. I still think Purdue beats Minnesota. I still think Purdue beats Indiana. I still think Purdue could beat Northwestern. I mean, that's like if I had to redo Purdue, that would be 6-6. I mean, we'll go with 6-6. How about that? I do think Purdue will be. Let's go with 6-6. So this is like my after I kind of looked and at the over and under. This is kind of what I would still do Purdue over. I think their minimum is 6. But I think they can beat Nebraska. I think they could have a chance with Wisconsin. What are like the games for Nebraska that I'm like meh about? If this ever loads, Jesus Christ. This is a nice site though. Playoffpredictors.com. Definitely should utilize this. Okay, so they're gonna beat Minnesota. They're gonna beat Colorado. They're gonna beat Northern Illinois. They're gonna lose to them. I see them beating Illinois. I see them beating Northwestern. I had Purdue beating Nebraska, but let's say that Nebraska wins. Nebraska. Okay, so let's say they lose this one. They could be 10. They could be their lowest. They could be is 8, in my opinion. I think Wisconsin is gonna get 10 wins this year. I think that's solid. Who are their losses to? Ohio State and Washington State. So I have Washington State beating them. Let's say they don't. They beat Washington State. What's their over-under? No, I want their over-under, not the odds to win. Why did I delete it? I had it. Okay, here we go. That's a solid one. I could see them just being 9. Yeah, so if I'm a betting man, my top ones, and I'm not gonna put Michigan, Ohio State, or Penn State in it. That's up to you. If I had a strong candidate over those 3, though, I would take Michigan. I just think they're going to be undefeated. Ohio State, I think they only lose one of those 2 games, so also take Ohio State. Penn State's at 9. I don't think they lose more than those 2 games if they lose to those 2 teams. So those 3, I'm just saying yes to. The other one I'm pretty confident about is the Indiana under. Oh, no, sorry, not Indiana under. Was it Rutgers under? I'm not even going to put those in this equation. Illinois under. There we go. I would put the Illinois under if I'm a betting man. Minnesota could shock me. I don't want to touch that one just because I don't know. Nebraska over. 100% would put Nebraska over. And the Purdue over. Those are like my favorite ones of this list. Northwestern at 3, dude. I would put $100 on Northwestern over, but I would put the other ones higher. But yeah, man, that's my predictions for the Big Ten. I mean, we're probably gonna do a different conference next week. I mean, subscribe if you guys want to keep getting more in depth. I'm gonna start doing more content. My number one analysis is fantasy football. So after I get through college, I'm gonna know more when we get into the NFL college. I'm just a fan. Like, I'm a big fan of college football, but I don't know everything. There's so many teams to keep track of. This is my best conference though, and I do think this is pretty accurate. I think this will happen this year. And we'll revisit this. But yeah, follow CZ Sports, guys. We're starting off. They're going to be doing podcasts here soon. And I'm going to be doing a lot of fantasy football content coming up soon. And I game and I watch a lot of reality TV, so I might throw in some content there. But that's it for you guys. Yeah, I think this is good. And